Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Cat's Track. We post an interview with an amazing Canadian each weekday for your daily inspiration. Today, I would like to introduce you to my dear friend, Kim Titus. Kim was born in North Bay, Ontario. She and her family moved to the Yukon when she was 6 months old, and she grew up in Whitehorse with her mom and dad, brother, and 2 sisters. Kim and her husband have been married for 43 years. Congratulations, friend. They have 3 sons who are 40, 39, and their youngest, who died by suicide at the age of 31, would have been 36 this year. They also have 2 beautiful grandbabies, and they love them to pieces. Besides Kim's family, she's very passionate about advocating for positive changes for mental health and addiction. Their vehicle is to do so is through the Thumbs Up Foundation. Their mission is to create a zero suicide model, which she always follows up with, whatever that means, whatever it takes. Friends, you'll find her full bio attached. Kim, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Catherine. It's great I know we're very aligned in a lot of our thinking in terms of need for change for mental health and addiction. And it seems sometimes like we're not running fast enough. And so any and all efforts and opportunities to talk about it I'm really grateful. So thank you for the avenue here.
Oh, thank you. And thank you so much for your advocacy. It's so important, and you've got a great story to tell. I'm looking forward to hearing it unveil through our interview today. So the questions that I sent your way, the first one being, what has been your greatest challenge over the last few months?
Yeah, that took some thinking to kind of collect my thoughts on that, and I really came out that it's really twofold in that, there's the outward challenges, increasingly we see every day, this whole diversity of opinions and intolerance of opinions and other things, and rioting and placards and dysfunction and chaos and all of that. So that's challenging, particularly when you're focused in the world of mental health and addiction. That's not good for anybody's mental health, individually or collectively. And so that's a challenge. How do we keep the positive message of what we're trying to do and advocate for, moving forward amidst the chaos and the, this whole diversity that's so rampant today, and the focus on what divides us as opposed to what unites us. And that's a big cornerstone of who we are at Thumbs Up, is starting there. That's the starting point. What can we agree on? What are we united in? And then we can go out from there. But if we're starting on what doesn't, how are we ever going to get there, right? So that's a challenge. And then internally, I think probably largely in response to that as well is it's patience, because I know that I'm not in control. And that these things, I know, who knew? But I'm finding out increasingly every day, and which is a good thing. But it's that it's it doesn't happen necessarily, and we get the calls almost daily, weekly for sure, from people who are under some pretty heavy, dire consequences in their family situations, individually, whatever it is. And so sometimes it can feel like we're just not running quite fast enough. There's lots of work to be done, and we need to, it feels like sometimes run faster, but then also aligning that with the patience to let it unfold the way that it's supposed to. So
it's hard to do.
Yeah,
you're doing some good work, Kim.
Thank you.
What are the 3 things that you'd like to share with our audience today?
Well, I think, based on our experience, everything that we do is designed to in the spirit of collaboration and in the spirit of unity, as I said, and so that doesn't walk in the door with you necessarily when you walk into a room, right? People can't tell by looking that you're collaborative and that you have a focus on unity. So it's that how do we create that place in that space, that we maybe lead with that first, that where are the opportunities, you know, there's a book on community by a guy named Peter Block that it just had me vibrating when I read it, because that's, you know, we've tried the business model for mental health and addiction, and we've tried the clinical model, and I say that what we need to create now is the community model, because it's more encompassing. Family circles fit better into the, rather than the square boxes and the rectangles of what we have created. Not to be disparaging in any way, but there's some gaps there, and there's some fragmentations. And I say when the gaps are big enough for 6 foot, 190-pound men to fall through them, they're pretty significant. And so everything we do is designed to complement and to fill in some of those gaps, and catch somebody as they're falling, so that they don't have to, so that others don't have to experience, you know, what we experience as a family.
I understand. Thank you. All right. Anything else you want to share in that area, or do you want to move on to?
No, I think that's it. That's how I think that for meaningful, sustainable change to occur, we have to bring another mindset to it. Einstein told us, right? It's the same thing, doing the same thing over and over, expecting. We have to try something different. What have we got to lose?
Agreed.
You know, Alberta's the second highest suicide rate in the country, second only to Quebec. Right? Something's got to change. Something's got to give, and we all got to start working more together. Whether it's the AMA and the physicians, you know, the communities, etc. There is a sweet spot there. We can get there, right? We have to get there, because, you know, that's a part of what I say sometimes is, I don't know, what's the cost of a human life these days, right? Yeah. What's that going for, right? Yeah. So we all need to do our part, and we can't. You know, we're not the end all, the be all. We know what we bring and what we don't bring.
Agreed.
And there's a level of expertise that, you know, the more we can to focus on that and putting the people first, because that's what we get to intellectual sometimes and forget that these are not widgets.
Yeah.
Right? They're people, and some of them are being crushed under the weight of their circumstances or the circumstances of their family, their loved ones.
Yeah.
And so we can help. It's our nature to help, right? That's our go-to place, is that we're compelled to help. So, but it's not help for help's sake.
Yeah.
There has to be purpose in the help. There has to be intention in the help. There has to be structure. That we need that business mind in there. We need those medical minds in there. But we also need the voice of lived experience in there. We also need the voice of community in there. And I fundamentally believe that that's where the future is. And this chaos that's happening right now, the silver lining there is that there's that opportunity, right? That we're going to start to come out the other side of this, you know, pandemic doors opening, etc., to say, we got to find a better way. We got to get along better than what we have.
I agree. Thank you, Kim. That's awesome.
Thank you.
What about a good news or legacy story that you want to share?
Well, you know, when you asked that, or when I read the question, it's, you know, I don't really think of what we're doing kind of in the realm of legacy, really. Really, it's in the realm of change, meaningful change, sustainable change. And so that's what we're doing every day. And we are extraordinarily blessed for the relationships that we've met and made, the people we've met and the relationships we've made, not just your present company included.
Yeah.
And just that is like, it's, you know, I think that we're a really good model of grassroots at its finest.
For sure.
You know, right? And just coming up this way and saying, you know, and the more we do it, the more we've, you know, it's been a cornerstone to do it through the laws of attraction rather than promotion.
Yeah.
And we increasingly are attracting more and more of the right kind of people that are change makers and movers and shakers and idea people and all of that. And it can be very exciting to think about the future if we all get not in the same boat, but having our boats row in the same direction.
I love it. Thank you so much, Kim.
Thank
I
you.
absolutely love our conversations always, and thank you so much for joining us on Cat's Track today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right.
Everybody, that was Kim Titus, my amazing friend. Check out her amazing foundation. She's doing some great work for mental health right here in Airdrie. So good. What a great spot to start.